So my name is Vijay. Thank you, University of Maryland. Thank you, Lori, for bringing us in. Round of applause for Lori. So how many people here, applaud if you have a parent from another country, if your parents were born in another country. Okay, excellent. My parents were born in India, and they came here in the 70s. And let me tell you, it was really difficult to raise two Indian parents in America. My mom's favorite show is Wheel of Fortune. Growing up, her favorite show is Wheel of Fortune. And it's really frustrating watching her try to solve the puzzles. The puzzle is the Great Wall of China, and every letter is up there except for the W in wall. And my mom can't figure it out. She's like, Great Hall of China, Great Ball of China, Great Mall of China. I'm like, Ma, it is the Great Wall. Great Mall doesn't make any sense. She said, everything is made in China, there must be the Great Wall of China. And my dad, like every immigrant parent, my dad thinks education is the most important thing. My dad has a BSc, an MBA, an LLM, and he's a CPA. I've got HBO, ADD, and a DUI. I knew I was different from my sisters. I was always different because I wanted to be a performer. But like my dad, very, very braggy. I'm the youngest of 3 girls, and he likes to brag about his kids. He's like, hey, this is my daughter Shanti, she's a doctor. This is my daughter Indu, she's a lawyer. This is my daughter Vijay, she's adopted. But I knew from a young age that I wanted to be a performer. I decided when I was about 10 years old that I was gonna go for it. And I told my dad, and he was like, act? You want to act? I will tell you how to act. You act like Albert Einstein and do your math homework. Good girl. But I knew that I was destined for something greater than the science fair, so I made it my mission to become a star. I tried out for every play and musical at my all-white elementary school. I got my first break in the 4th grade. I was cast as Martin Luther King. So tonight, you're going to be hearing 6 stories. I'm going to be coming in between, and I'm going to do my story at the end. But our first storyteller of the evening is a wonderful guy. He was picked as one of the top stories of 2013 on our Top Shelf show for Speakeasy DC. And please welcome PJ Andrews. PJ, woo!
So it's hard to be black when you're ethnically ambiguous. But what's not hard is to hear the questions, what are you? Or where are you from? A lot. Now for me, the answer's kind of complicated. It goes a little something like this. So my dad's from Cape Verde, that's a country in Africa, but he grew up in Cape Cod, that's in Massachusetts. My mom is Jewish, she's from New Jersey, but she didn't like being a Jew from New Jersey, so she moved to Boston, met my dad and me and my sister. We're all Baha'is, and it was a little confusing because I just said it was Jewish. Culturally, we're Jewish. Religiously, we're Baha'is. It's a faith about unity. You should look it up sometime. But I am black. Now, growing up, I didn't always love being black because all my friends were white, and I didn't like being different. So let me give you a little example. In 7th grade, I wasn't invited to Amy McCarthy's birthday party. So what do you do when you're in middle school and you're not invited to a birthday party, but all your friends are? You cry in the bathroom, which is where my dad found me. PJ, why are you crying? I'm not crying. PJ, why are you crying? Wasn't invited to a birthday party. Whose birthday party? Amy McCarthy's. Who's that? You don't care. You're right, I don't. But who's invited? I told him. Huh. There's no black kids on that list. Chan, get the school director. We will call this Amy McCarthy's parents and get PJ invited to this racist birthday party. Now, first of all, I didn't realize that being black was a reason that you could not be invited to something. This was hard to hear as a young kid. At the same time, I had to stop my dad right there because I wasn't about to be the first kid invited to a birthday party via affirmative action. But the lesson was clear. Race matters, and being black can have real negative implications in your life. Now, at the same time, I really wanted to be black because my dad loves being black. He loves his black friends, and I always knew when they would call. Hello, this is Kevin Andrews. Nasif, man, I looked at a piece of dog shit today and thought of you. What you calling me for? And he loves black culture, so Saturday morning cleanups, long car rides, we're listening to Quincy Jones, the Vandross, Anita Baker, and I think we owned every single book with the word black in the title. And he loves seeing black people succeed, so he opened a charter school in Dorchester, which is an inner city neighborhood in Boston, with the express purpose of bringing a quality education to the kids of that neighborhood who wouldn't necessarily otherwise have access to one. And the slogan of the school is, "Succeed anywhere." Now, when I got to high school, there were a lot more black kids around, but they were all bused in from Boston, and they didn't really intermingle with my white friends. So I had this sort of awkward tension where on the one hand, I didn't want to alienate my white friends by reaching out to the black crowd, but on the other hand, I felt like I didn't know how to reach out to the black crowd because I didn't know how to be black. In hindsight, I probably could have just tried, "Hi, my name's PJ," but it's another story. Now, when I got to college, I came to a new realization. That I was Indian. I found this out because I was talking to one of my friends and he was like, "Yeah, so I was talking to this girl and she was like, 'Hey, that PJ guy, is he Indian?'" "That's funny, why would she ask that?" "Dude, everyone thinks you're Indian." Turns out I look really Indian. Now growing up, everybody knew my dad, so they knew that I was black. In college, people didn't have this information, so I was just some Indian kid walking around campus. So as I'm dealing with my newly found Indian identity, I am embracing my blackness for the first time. So what does it look like when you embrace your blackness in college? You enroll in all the race studies courses, you move to the Africana Center, and you start doing some poetry. I did all three of those things. And I went to Africa. What? I did my study abroad in Ghana, and when I got there, I found out that not only was I not black, I wasn't even Indian. I was white. I found this out because I was walking across the campus one day and I heard somebody call out, "Hey, white man." I look around for the white man and realize he's looking right at me. He says it again like I'm an idiot. "Hey, white man, come here, I have some toilet paper and peanuts for you." I was like, I got mad. I was like, "Dude, look at my skin. I am black." Now, unfortunately, I chose to pick this battle with a guy that makes Wesley Snipes look pale. He comes up to me with a dumbfounded look on his face, puts his arm right next to mine just like this, points at my arm, and points at his arm and says, "Black." Points at my arm and says, "White." And at that point, I'm just like, dude, whatever, I give up. Now, every year my dad goes to something called the Black Men's Gathering. The Black Men's Gathering takes place in Maine, of all places. Over the course of a week in July, and it's a space where men of African descent can learn how to be spiritual beings in a world that's not so kind to black men. Now, my dad didn't want me to go to the Black Men's Gathering for many years, but it wasn't him that convinced me. It was his very good friend, Patrick. Now, Patrick is black. He's from Detroit, and he's seen it all. And just to give you a sense of what I mean by seen it all, one time my dad said, "PJ, ask Patrick if he's ever been shot." So I did. And he told me about the time he was stood up at an ATM. "This fool gonna come up to me talking about, 'Give me your money.' I said, 'Motherfucker, you gonna have to shoot me to get my money.' And the motherfucker shot me. And he took my money. Now you know. Now the first time I met Patrick, he took me out to lunch and I was expressing to him my hesitations about going to the Black Men's Gathering. "You know, Patrick, I just don't feel black enough, I don't feel spiritual, and I just look at my dad and Uncle Gene and Uncle Billy and I can't live up to all that." "Boy, fuck your father, fuck Gene, and motherfucker fuck Billy too." Now, apparently that's exactly what I needed to hear because I went to the Black Men's Gathering. And when I did, I was literally and figuratively embraced by a sea of black men whose confidence, whose tranquility, whose assurance shone like the sun. Some were black like Patrick, some were black like me, some weren't like either of us, but that didn't matter. What mattered is that we loved each other, and we supported each other to become the best human beings that we could be, whoever that was. I remember one afternoon sitting in a session and looking around at this sea of black faces, these radiant souls, all different, all unique, but all united. And I recalled Patrick's eloquent words and realized that I had finally broken free from the need to learn how to be black. And for the first time in my life, I just was. Thank you.